Hello, the purpose of this video is to show parents where to find the state testing scores in Abre, as well as a brief interpretation to the third grade English Language Arts assessment recently taken by our third graders. As you can see, I am logged into my Abre account. As a reminder that the website is shaker.abre.io. I have logged in and I'm going to click on the My Students app. I have already redeemed my student token. So you can see when I click on there, here's my test student that is available. I'm going to click on the View Profile tab, and it brings up the baseball card for my student. From here, I'm going to click on the Assessments tab, and here in a typical student, I'll see two types of assessments that show up. I'll see the bar graph of error scores, and if it's a third grader, I'll see only one of these. I'll see English Language Arts, and then on the other side, I'll see a line graph of MAP scores in both English Language Arts or reading and math. When I hover over the bar, it tells me the specific score that my student earned on the O3 English Language Arts assessment. In this case, it's a score of 739. As a point of reference, all Ohio State tests have a score of 700 equaling proficient, and all Ohio State tests have a scaled score of 725 equaling accelerated. All of the other scores are different based on the individual assessment and date the assessment was given. So if I want to find out more information about my students' individual scores other than their scaled score here, I will click on the View tab here. This takes me to the specific error assessments, and if I had more than one error assessment in the platform, they would show up as tiles here. I'll click on View to view the 2019 April scores. In your case, you'll be looking at fall of 2019, and you only see the one third grade. And it brings up the assessment details for my error assessment. I'm looking at the grade 3 language arts, and it will say fall of 2019 in here. And what these scores are then going to tell me is the different levels my child scored at, as well as the 3 different topics. So when I look at how to interpret these scores, the first thing I want to look at is the scaled score. The scaled score range based on the test is the same, but again, 700 indicates proficient. For the third grade English Language Arts assessment, this year, any student who scored a 683 or above is considered to have met the minimum promotion score for the third grade guarantee. So any score above 683 counts as that third grade score for promotion. 700 indicates proficient, 683 is proficient in reading only. The reason why is this test is a test of both reading and writing. So when I look at the level category here, every Ohio Air assessment has 5 levels. A student who scores in level 1 is considered to have limited proficiency. A student who scores in level 2 is considered to have basic proficiency. Those of 3 and above are considered to be proficient. 4, they are accelerated in the standards, and 5 are considered to be advanced. Scores of 3, 4, and 5 are those what we would consider to be passing for that percentage. Also, I see these substandards. These substandards tell me a little bit more about what my students' strengths are and where they possibly need to grow. So when I look at it, it's a numerical score. When the descriptors below refer to proficient. So when I look at this substandard here of 10 and then above, it indicates my student is above proficient for reading informational text. When I look at what it means to be, if that's 5 here, at or near, that would mean that my student is at or very near to proficient for reading literary text and the skills associated with that. When I look at the writing score, it says it's a score of 5, and that is considered to be above proficient for the writing strand. So what the individual strands mean, well, informational text, a student who is at, near, or above proficient means that they can find the main idea and support details of a text. They connect events, ideas, steps, sentences, paragraphs, and illustrations to one another. And this student understands similarities between different historic events or scientific events. Informational text is specifically nonfiction text. For literary text, that's 12 to 14 points that you'll see typically total. Students ask and answer questions about stories and poems. So this would be fictions and stories. They tell how different characters change in a story, and they explain how authors can use stories to express a lesson or moral. They read the stories by one author and tell similarities and differences, and they use pictures to help better understand a story. The writing standard, which is a third part of this English language assessment, is in the fall it is 1 writing prompt, and in the spring it is 2. But it's always out of 10 total points. And in this case, students write to state opinions and give information on different topics. They clearly state a main idea or opinion. They use facts from text they have to read and support a main idea or opinion. They group facts into well-organized sentences and paragraphs, and they use correct capitalization, punctuation, and spelling. So that's how you use the information based on Abre to kind of understand what this score means. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to your child's teacher or principal, and they can kind of help with some of the more detailed interpretations and what the scores mean. Thank you, and have a great day.